you don't have to be, see, skinny, super thin, skinny leads to other issues too. That's not healthy either. But there is a middle ground, I'd say. Being overweight as far as health concerns, yes, it's going to catch up to you soon.
But when that stress happens, we make poor decisions.
Right. If you're grieving, or even if you have a bad time at work or you're stressed at work, you're going to go home and you're going to do all those bad things for yourself. Lay around, probably eat, or just smoke, drink out. Even drinking alcohol is not, a good go-to. No.
Why do you think a lot of women your age would stay overweight?
I think you just get into a rut. You get depressed, and it just snowballs from there.
Welcome, guys, to Becoming a Better You podcast. Today we have one of our rock star coaches, Coach Heidi. So I'm excited about this because I don't know if you know.
Me too.
Do you know when you come into the studio, you always ask me why I'm laughing? Right? Because when I look at you, I just smile. Right? I think right, it's your energy. It just makes me laugh. Mm-hmm. So that's why.
Right.
We got that out in the open now.
Yeah.
So tell me your background in fitness.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I started kickboxing probably 15 years ago. Before that, I did Taekwondo. So I started karate first, testing, and I went all the way up to my black belt.
You got the black belt?
I did get my black belt.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got my black belt, and then I was kind of done with that. Mm-hmm. I wanted just fitness. I wanted to...
Did you feel like you graduated? The black belt was the goal?
That was the goal.
Yeah, we see that a lot.
You're supposed to keep going. You are supposed to, and then teach others and help teach others. But I didn't.
For free?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the martial arts model.
Yeah. I probably could have bought a whole car with
I'm sure.
outright cash.
Oh, sure.
But I just wanted fitness, and I stumbled upon, I love kickboxing. And then I started doing that, and I fell in love with it. And immediately I wanted to be an instructor. Immediately.
So why did you want to be an instructor in the kickboxing and not the martial arts?
I think because it wasn't as rigid.
The kickboxing?
Yeah.
More
kickboxing,
fun?
It's more fun. Because that's what I wanted in my life at that point, was to have fun, but to work out at the same time. Yeah.
And did you have any other, because you did a fitness competition as well.
I did.
Right?
I did. But that was as a result of kickboxing.
Okay.
So I got a lot of confidence kickboxing and, through Taekwondo, but through kickboxing, I felt like I could do anything.
And so that's one of the things that, when we meet with women, and when I say we, I mean me, one personality, but probably many, is that if I were to just sit down and tell them all the other benefits they're going to get from working out, mm-hmm. I would go on forever and they would never believe me.
Right.
So it's almost like I just have to get them to work out. And I literally, before we did the podcast, mm-hmm. I got a message from one of our clients. She was like, Mark, I just want to let you know I hit my goal weight. Mm-hmm. Right? She's like, I'm so happy I found you. Right? Before we just did this podcast, and all the other, how much more, she didn't say this, but she said it to me before, just how much more confident she is.
Of course.
Fitness does all these things for you. So this is why I tell people, if you're not happy, work out.
Right. Yeah.
Do that first.
Right.
And then go with your day.
Exactly.
But specifically kickboxing.
Yep.
It's empowering for women.
It's so empowering. I've done it all. I've done every type of exercise there is. And I always come back to kickboxing. Always.
And a good stress relief.
An excellent stress relief. Yeah.
So you did the kickboxing. Now you got the confidence.
Yeah.
And it propelled you to do a fitness competition.
Right.
Right? So you lifting weights at that point.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Some weights, but I'll tell you, the physique that I had was all kickboxing. People don't believe it, but it's the truth. You can get a lot of definition and toning through boxing. If you do it the right way, you have correct form, you will. There's no doubt about it. Of course, food does come into play.
Sure, of course.
Diet is huge. You can't exercise or work your way out of eating a cheeseburger. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing with that too is after you do a hard workout, you don't want the cheeseburger, right? No. Because you innately know, I just worked out this hard, I'm sweating.
Right.
I'm not going to eat a cheeseburger.
Right.
Right. So it just starts influencing other aspects of your life.
Exactly.
So the confidence that you got from kickboxing, how did that impact the rest of your life?
Oh, it was insane. I accomplished so many things. Like I have this bucket list that I like to check off, or like
was wearing that hat one of those items?
Don't you love my hat?
I love it.
Pom on it. Yeah. So I did the competition, and then I ran a marathon. So I ran 26 miles because of kickboxing. Honestly, like it just gave me that confidence. I can do this. I'm in good shape. Like I feel good about me.
Right.
And I did it. I ran that marathon, and I owe it all to kickboxing.
So the Heidi I know now, who's confident, who's doing her thing, who everybody loves, was that not really the Heidi before kickboxing?
No, not at all.
What was that Heidi like?
That Heidi was meek, and that Heidi didn't want to try anything new. That Heidi was not in shape. That Heidi was not strong. And I got all of those things through kickboxing, even my mind. I thought differently. Yeah,
and the Heidi before I knew you, that was the one that was working with a chronic pain doctor getting injections, right?
Yes, that's right. And I haven't had one in a year.
Right?
Right.
Because when we talk about chronic pain, there's a mental component and a physical component.
Right.
Right? And I feel like when we give up on ourselves or we're not confident, that's what leads to physical pain.
Right.
Right?
And stress.
And stress.
Yes.
And even though, because obviously the chronic pain doctor I worked with, I was a physical therapist.
Right.
Unless you start changing your mind and start having confidence in yourself, you are always going to get injections. You are always going to have PT.
Right.
Right. Until you start doing things on your own to rectify the problem, get confidence and change your mind. Like that's the path people go on.
Right.
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 Do you even think about that old Heidi anymore? It's just not even part of you anymore.
She's not even there. No. She's not even there anymore. I try to live. Kickboxing also gave me that goal mindset. So I try to set a goal for myself. I reach the goal and then I make another one.
I love it.
And I live like that now. So I always have something to get or grasp or attain. It just makes me propel forward. I
think for me, and I've read that like goals are what allows the life force to go through you. Because if you're working towards something, like I was excited about this podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Me too.
Like,
yeah.
So it's like, I'm excited. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to work out. I had a couple meetings or at a meeting and then we have this.
Right.
So like, it was something I wanted to obtain or do. Right. And it gives you that positive energy.
Right.
So I don't get sick too often. And the other day, I was a little bit under the weather. Right. But even when I'm under the weather, I still work out.
Right.
I still do everything I need to do, right? Unless it's like really bad.
Right.
But anyway, I was like, I feel kind of like crap today. And we're working on the second Pug book. Right?
Okay.
And the new illustrator sent me the first picture. Right. So I woke up and I saw it. Instantly, I was like, oh yes. Right. And instantly the wave of positivity went over me. And I was like, I don't feel bad.
No.
Right. Like for that moment, even after that, I felt good.
You felt good.
Even the rest of the day, I still felt a little bit off, but I wasn't as off as I would have been had I not had that positive goal.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So I think when people don't have something they're looking forward to, that it just keeps them down.
Right.
I also think that, while it's good to, maybe I book a vacation, you also need like a creative endeavor to do. Whether it's writing something, whether it's working on your body. Right. Right?
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I always have to have a positive thing to look towards. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me going. I do have to add that, I am getting older. And,
you don't look it.
Well, I am, unfortunately, but for my age, I feel like, I'm doing well for my age.
100%.
And I have to say that as far as, going to the doctors and lab work and blood work, it's always good. My resting heart rate is always good. And I attribute that to kickboxing and to working out all the time and staying consistent. The other thing that it's helped me too is that a lot of women my age are going through menopause or starting it or finished it. And I'm done. And I have to say that I had a very easy and great experience with it. It didn't put me down at all.
I think you're the first woman in history to say that.
And I attribute it to kickboxing. I mean, I haven't taken any pills for it. No pills, no hormones, nothing. It's this.
Do you think that you can have a healthy mind without a healthy body?
No.
Right.
No.
And do you think you could have a healthy body without a healthy mind?
No.
Right.
They both go hand in hand. There's no doubt.
Yeah. And I feel that it's easier to fix the body first.
Yes.
And get your mind intact versus try to fix the mind and the body.
Yep.
Right. And we know that, like, from working out, the dopamine you get and the happy hormones.
Absolutely.
Right. You need that every day.
You do.
I was listening to a thing yesterday from a doctor. It was pretty interesting. So nowadays, like, the statistics of especially women on antidepressants is astronomical.
Oh, it's amazing. Yep.
Do you know a lot of people on them?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, when they put them on SSRIs, which is the main drug, it doesn't add more, I believe it's serotonin, to the person, right? It doesn't give you more of the happy hormones. All it does is it levels it off. So it gives you, whatever you have, it gives it to you sporadically throughout the day. Well, if you're low to start with,
right, now you're going to be...
I mean, you just, you didn't change anything.
No.
Right? It's, you're low. Well, now this drug just gives you a little bit each time versus, like, going through it as fast, I believe.
Right.
Well, why don't you give yourself more happy hormones by setting goals, working out, and eating healthy?
Exactly.
You know, like,
and
that blew me away because I was just, that's not my area of expertise. But I thought that they gave you more of the dopamine and serotonin. No, it keeps you level.
Level, right.
And then, but you don't get any more.
No. And they are huge side effects.
Huge side effects, gaining weight. And what do you think that does to your serotonin and stuff? Oh my gosh,
it makes you feel crappy. So guess what? You're taking another pill to not gain the weight. So now you're on all these pills, and it's just a vicious cycle.
Right.
You know, that doesn't work in the end.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
And do you think if you didn't commit your life to fitness and doing that, you'd be on that, you'd be in that?
Yes.
Right.
No doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the quality of your life now is probably way better than it would ever be.
So much better. I'm doing so much better now than I did when I was 20 years old.
Yeah, which is funny for me because I only met you, 3-4 years ago?
Right.
This is the only Heidi I know.
Right.
Right? So that's actually interesting for me to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we talked about this a little bit with Julie yesterday. So society has this thing now where we want to lie to women and tell them that it's totally acceptable to be overweight.
Yes, you see it all the time now in ads and everything.
It's totally okay.
Yeah.
You look beautiful being 60 pounds overweight.
Right.
Now, I talked about this with Julie a little bit, and I was like, listen, like, beauty is preference.
Sure.
If you can be beautiful 60 pounds overweight, like, people might think that. Yeah. You might think that. I'm cool with that.
Right.
What I'm not cool is telling Susie that it's cool, you look beautiful, don't lose any weight, but you're 60 pounds overweight. So Susie, most probably, is going to be having a heart attack, a diabetes, or a stroke later on in life.
Right.
But she didn't want to lose weight because society said that you can't tell them the truth. Now, as a fitness coach, it's my job to, when they come in here, now usually when they come in to see me, they know they have a problem. But like some people, like, I don't want to lose my curves. Well, you're 80 pounds overweight.
You will.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't lose your curves, diabetes will take away limbs.
Right.
Right? So we're going to start losing other stuff.
Right.
So how do you feel about that as a woman and as a fitness instructor?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same page as you. You know, so you don't have to be skinny, super thin, skinny leads to other issues too. That's not healthy either. But there is a middle ground, I'd say, right? I mean, I think that being overweight, as far as health concerns, yes, it's going to catch up to you soon. You know, maybe when you're younger, but once you hit late 40s, early 50s, things start creeping up and your blood pressure goes up and diabetes will kick in and your bones start to ache. You're carrying around all that extra weight. I mean, that's hard on the body.
100%.
Hard.
And so, like, what do you think about society? Don't tell Heidi, she has to lose weight. She's beautiful being 70 pounds overweight, right?
It's just kind of not being honest with people.
It's not being honest.
It's not being honest. And it's kind of, it's offensive, I guess, if you tell somebody that they're...
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying you go up to them on the street and say
No.
But if you care about somebody...
Sure, and they come to you, then you can tell them.
Yeah, I even think if you're my friend, and I come up to you, and I'm like, listen, Heidi, you're pretty. You're definitely pretty.
Yeah.
You need to lose some weight.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying this as a person who loves you, who's not afraid to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I think that's less offensive is if I say nothing.
Right.
And then you have a heart attack.
Right.
Because all those people who are being like, oh, whatever, Heidi, you're beautiful, 80 pounds overweight. When you have the heart attack, they're going to be like, get well soon.
Right, yeah.
They don't care.
No, they don't care.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just feel like you're just holding men too, but I think it's more with women. Right? You're holding them back from actually living their best life.
Right.
And I think that's something that needs to change. With your friends, you need to be honest.
Right.
Right? Or if they're coming to you for help.
Of course. And also, if you're 60 pounds overweight, clearly you don't have a good, decent diet. You don't probably exercise that much. And so now you're going to keep gaining weight. Right.
And you're probably not feeling your best.
No, of course not. No, you're feeling tired and sluggish, and you don't feel like working out or have the motivation because you just don't want to. You just don't want to.
Yeah, I agree.
Want to. Yeah.
So, you're probably one of the best coaches I've seen teach, right? Just the way you deliver the classes, the way you interact with the clients. Is there a secret to how you teach it?
So, I love what I do. So that's first and foremost. If you don't love it, it's not going to be there.
Right.
And it shows. It's like with cooking. If you don't like cooking, if you don't love your cooking, it won't come out well. Right? You're baking, whatever. But I step on the mat. I always say they're magical. Because as soon as I step on that mat, I could work all day. I'm not tired anymore. I start to dance around and I like to have fun. And clients actually smile. And, sometimes they're not smiling when they walk in here. Maybe they had a bad day or they just don't feel good about themselves. Yep. And so if my energy rubs off. Yeah, that's what I've seen.
I think that there's two things with that. Most people lead disempowered lives.
Yeah.
Right? This might be the only, we tell my instructors this might be the only place where someone's saying hello to them, where someone's fist pumping them, where they feel not less than.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it's our job to put smiles on their faces.
Right.
And so I understand that people come in, they might have a bad day at work, but when they leave, we do our best to put the smiles on their faces, to give them that safe zone to do it. And so a coach like you, Heidi's up and down if I'm watching you, I'm at my desk, I'm going, it's like I'm watching a tennis match. I'm watching a tennis match.
Yep.
But people like that versus the instructor who's
sedentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't give any oomph, so to say, if that's a word. I
think it is.
Yeah, I think so. To keep moving. And, and I like my classes quick. And let's go. And it just keeps everybody going. It keeps them motivated. Music is key.
How do you, now obviously in our studio we have the fitness component, we have the nutrition, the accountability. So right now you're just with the fitness classes. Right. But when you have the client in class, how are you trying to help them either physically or mentally with the class, as an instructor? You might have a class of 15, 20, whatever it is.
Right.
But how are you making it special for each person?
So you can call them out. Always give a positive to somebody, even though they're doing something wrong, they're definitely doing something right.
Yeah, of course.
They're here, so they're doing something right. So a lot of times I walk up to people, while class is going, and I'll be like, "You're doing a great job." Oh, that was a great roundhouse kick. Oh, look at that punch look at that power. I love that power. I love hearing that smack on the bag.
Which is true. It has to be a true compliment. Right. Because if you give them a compliment, that's not true. They'll be like, I didn't do that right at all.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So it has to be true, but really.
Exactly.
So really focusing on the positive.
Really focusing on the positive no matter what.
And I like what you said is they're doing something right because they are here.
Right.
Right?
That's right.
People talk about, I need to take the first step. Mm-hmm. Well, the first step is meeting me. Right. And talking to me. And that's the first step.
It is.
Right. If you do that, like you're going to be good.
Right.
But like we always say, like, I can't want this for you more than you want this for yourself.
Right.
And honestly, to tell you the truth, I'd almost rather not sign somebody up if they're not ready for it.
Of course.
Because then they're going to feel defeated when they don't do it right.
Exactly.
Which is why we do the meeting.
Exactly.
So obviously we're a small studio. It's run by me, right? But you were at like a franchise kickboxing place before.
Huge. Yep.
Differences that you see?
So the one major difference is that when they come in, they meet you. And you are the face.
And glasses.
Yeah. So but you're the face. It's not mechanical.
Yeah.
They meet you, and it's not, when you talk to someone, it's not from a textbook. It's, you say different things to everyone. You tailor your conversations differently to everyone. So that right there is comforting. To me, it is anyway. And I think to all the people that come in here, that's the difference, Yeah.
More personable.
More personable for everyone. Yes. Yep.
And how about, how about the way we interact with the clients? Like, is there something different with that? Is the classes, I design the classes, so like I know those are different.
So it's not corporately designed.
Yeah.
You design the classes. You reach out to people. You care if they're not here. You meet them when they first walk in. All that it's huge. Yeah.
Do you think that results in a better conversion of clients to lose weight, to stay longer?
And also you go over the nutrition part where I never saw that before.
Okay.
So let's face it, they go hand in hand. Like we were saying before, you have to have a decent diet, or it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I think for that, there's so much information out there.
So much bad information too.
Yeah, and it's
supplements.
It's just like
don't work.
Yeah, it's just like overload.
Right.
So like our job is just to simplify the process.
Right.
How do you just eat off this?
Right.
You'll be
easy.
good.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
You will lose weight. You will transform your body.
Yeah, and I think of it like this too. Like, listen, people stay with us for a long time, but you don't have to stay with us forever. But if I give you the knowledge of what you should eat, you don't magically forget that later down in life.
No, you'll always carry it with you.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not only that you're paying for kickboxing, like you're paying for the knowledge to get yourself better, right? Just like a school or whatever. I would much rather, as a business owner, somebody simplify something for me that works, that give me all this like concept of like things that will never work, And I think this, as far as people think, it's hard to lose weight. It's not if you have the right information.
And the right tools.
And the right tools.
And the right people to help you and back you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
How important, did you lose weight? Like, were you heavier before?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I absolutely did.
How much did you lose? Do you remember?
I probably lost about 20 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember like the people that were around you that like kind of helped you with that? Or would they try to like, hey, Heidi, don't change. We like you the way you are.
Yeah. I mean, you get that a lot. You know what I mean?
Why do you think they do that?
I think it's because they don't want people to leave.
Sure.
They want them to stay. So if I tell you, well, you're doing all the right things, you'll stay. Keep getting money.
Yeah, but even like friends or family. Did they say that to you?
Oh, friends or family? Oh, your family always tells you you're fine. Right?
Well, yeah.
Always.
Why do you think they say that?
Well, because they don't want to hurt your feelings because they're your family.
Either that or they don't want you to improve your life when they're doing nothing to improve theirs.
Yeah, it's true too.
Right?
Family, I mean, yeah.
Maybe not in all cases.
Not in all cases, but yeah, that's true.
It's cool, Heidi. Just keep getting pain injections.
Right, yeah.
Have no goals.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Watch Oprah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I think people do that. And again, what you brought up part is that people also don't want you to leave. So if you're making yourself better and you're doing all these new things.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's funny when people be like to somebody, you changed. Yeah, motherfucker. I'm supposed to change.
Right.
Right? Like, why would I want to be the same as I was 6 months ago?
Right. That's why I looked for this, Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why it's really about doing what's best for you and putting yourself first, because that's the only way you can help other people. Right. Had you not taken care of yourself first, you would not even be a rock star instructor. You wouldn't even be an instructor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think when people want to change and get better, they really need to look at people who are telling them to stay the same.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I have an Italian mother. She would 100% be like, you look great, Mark. Right. Don't change a thing.
Mine the same.
Just that's her mentality.
Right.
You know, but if I listened to that, I would never change. I'd be comfortable.
Right.
And I asked Julie actually last night when we did a podcast, do you think comfort kills people?
I mean, yeah, it can. Comfort food.
Comfort food, yeah.
Can kill people. And when you feel comfortable, you stay in it.
Right.
And you don't leave.
You don't evolve.
Excel. Just like when I started my fitness journey, you know, when I started training as an instructor, I was so scared. Because I was a little overweight, so I wasn't comfortable standing in front of people in tight clothes, and I almost quit. And I felt like everybody was looking at me. People were making fun of me, and I was like, no. I am doing this because I want to do this for myself. And I am so glad I stuck with it. I am so glad. I wanted a change.
Yeah, and I think when we want to change and we start doing something new, those thoughts are normal,
Yes. Right.
Like everybody has them. If I'm doing a new endeavor, so one of the things we're doing is we're making Pug animated, right? So he can talk back to me.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I mean, if he gets too talkative, I'll just
of course, give him a little backhand.
But like, you know, it's nothing we've done before.
Yep.
So maybe thoughts come in your head. This might be stupid. People might not like it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, let's do it because I know the first one we do and the 10th or 20th, Pug's going to be totally different.
Right.
Because I'm already going to know what worked and what didn't work.
Right.
But like if you didn't have that confidence, like you would have just stopped. And I think that's why people, this is what I'm saying, people go to do something, they don't have the self-confidence to back it up.
Right.
Because they're not working out, they're not doing stuff for themselves, that they stay the same.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
I remember when I was going to make maybe you have a similar story, I was going to make my transition from a full-time therapist. I was running the school at night to just working at the school, right? And I had made that decision so rock steady in my head. I was literally prepared to eat ramen noodles for the rest of my life. Yep. I think did I tell you that story?
No, but I get it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make a leap sometimes for change. There's no choice. Yep.
There's no choice. And the person I am now is totally different than the person I would have been had I stayed.
Right.
And honestly, to tell you the truth, because I chose to take that leap, bet on myself, I impact more people now than I would have as like a staff therapist.
Yep.
Right?
Than
I ever have.
Right.
So sometimes do you have to just take the leap?
Right. I mean, here you get success stories. I mean, do you really see success stories where you were? No, they keep coming back, and they're in pain. It's kind of depressing sometimes.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of things with that question. That's a good question.
Yeah.
For a minute, I thought I was on your podcast. But so the thing with that is people do get better. You don't get enough time with a person to really make a long-standing change. So since I was with chronic pain patients, you know, pain over 3 months, but really years of pain. Yeah. So like if I can make you feel better, but like in 12 visits, I'm not changing anything. No. Right? I might give you the knowledge. Right. But you know, people are there for different reasons. Some people are there because they want injections. First, you have to see PT. Right. Some people want medication instead of doing anything. Right. Some people want to make a change, but they're not eating right. Right. You know, so so you can help people. I can definitely, but they would come back 3 days later and still be in pain. Right. Right. Or maybe not as much. So while you did have your success stories, it varied. I'm sure. You know? Yeah. And as a therapist, you have a whole caseload, right? So say I have 12 people on my caseload. It was usually more, but like I heal 6 people, but I have 7 more people coming in. Right. I'm already drained. As a human, I am drained. Right. Right? Because like therapists spend more time with clients than any other doctor. As far as I know. Sure. Right? Yeah. We spend hours. At least an hour, yeah. At least, right? Each person, yeah. So I know you. I'm talking about like, so now we're going through the whole thing and I'm gone. Like I'm drained. Right? Because you take on the energy of the people that you're around. Right. Which is one of the reasons I had to be like, I can't keep doing this because I can't replenish myself as quickly as I needed to.
Right.
Because you would do the day and it'd be good. I'd have fun. We'd joke around.
Yeah.
You'd eat, you go to bed, you have to wake up again.
And do the same thing.
Well, if I wasn't replenished, I can't be that best therapist again the next day.
Right.
Times that by years.
Yeah.
Right? So I think for me, if I was just in not a chronic pain setting, if it was like you got up one morning, you're an avid golfer, you're a triathlete and you hurt your knee, we're good.
Right.
Because you're going to do stuff on your own.
Right.
But that, for me, I was good at it, but it definitely, I had to make a decision. Now when I come here, people pay me money out of their pocket,
right?
Which means they want to be here.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
And you just get that level of interaction with the client. I see them months and years. Right. I see the change.
Right.
Right? Versus PT was like a little segment of their life.
Right.
And then they come back 6 months later.
Right.
You know, and I love the PT, and honestly, I love the patients.
Yeah.
But I knew that's not the life I needed to live.
Right.
And that's where I made the leap.
You just know.
Yeah,
you just know.
Yeah, I think when you have that resistance and you have that, like, you're drained, something needs to change.
Right.
Right? Before you break down yourself.
Right.
Do you have any instance in your life where you kind of had to, like, make a leap, or was the fitness the leap for you?
Well, I mean, I just recently, 2 years ago, got divorced. That right there is... That was kickboxing helped me or make that leap. It was a very hard decision to make. But I kept fitness in my life, and it helped me through all of it. Yep.
And how did it help you?
So stress. I would come here and I would punch the bag. I would come here and I would be surrounded by all like-minded people.
Sure.
Everybody wants to better themselves when they come here. And I would sweat, because sweat is good. And then I would feel good about myself after a workout, much better than when I first walked in. You know, I would be tired and exhausted. And let's face it, who wants to come and work out after you've worked 18 hours? You know, I certainly don't. I'm tired, but I come, I force myself, and boy, am I glad when I leave that I did what I did.
Well, and it's because you decided to make it a priority.
It is a priority.
That's the difference.
For me. Yes.
So even when people come and see me, they're like, oh, price might be an issue. Well, yeah, in some cases it is. Sure. But in the majority, it's because you didn't prioritize it.
Right.
Because if you really want to do something, you're going to do it.
You are, of course.
Right? And it's not like I'm charging you $1 million to get fit.
No.
But if it's a priority, you're going to be like, here's my credit card.
Exactly.
And I know you're ready.
Right.
If I have to, like, pull teeth to get you to sign up, I know it's not going to work. So now when I'm like, listen, Heidi, this isn't for you, right? Because I know you're not ready.
Right.
And I don't want to set you up to do all this stuff when I know you have the level of interest.
And that right there is key.
Yeah.
Not to force someone, because you could force them, I guess, but they're going to cancel.
Yeah.
And then why? You know? And then they're going to think of you as, oh, well, he forced me into this.
Sure.
You know, and you don't want people to say that about you, because that's not you.
Right.
Right.
What is me?
You are a happy-go-lucky, person who wants to help people.
I like that synopsis.
Yeah.
And again, so getting back to the divorce. So Caring.
Yep.
Good sense of style.
Good sense of humor. Super sense of humor. Yeah. I'm
a funny guy.
You are.
So, so getting back to the divorce, right? And so I've been teaching since I've been 16. So I've always had the studio and the people in it through many breakups, right?
Yeah,
and I think it's definitely allowed me to stay on track, kind of thing. So I understand that. So moving on from that, so we're divorced now. Down the line, we start dating, which I'm sure can be nerve-wracking,
stressful,
and I think, listen, So I mean, women come to me because they're going to start dating again, and they want to feel more confident in their body.
Yeah.
But here's the fitness again.
Yeah.
Right.
It always comes back around.
Right. It always comes back around.
Yep.
And I think a note that I want to say is it doesn't matter if you're 97 years old.
Nope.
You can still make gains in fitness.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's not like there's some magical number where your body will never adapt.
Right.
It does.
Right.
You just have to stay consistent.
Right.
Anyway. All right. So we start dating again. And then, so unfortunately, the man you were dating passes away.
Yes, he did.
Can you kind of walk me through that, like how you felt? And
So that was a really hard time in my life. The sense of that loss was completely indescribable. But again, going back to kickboxing or the fitness part of my life, that helped me through that grief. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that when you say unfathomable, I would have to agree with that because, like, you know, you break up with people.
They're still there.
They're still there.
Right.
Right. And to have somebody that you were very close to on that level, not be there and not be able to communicate them in the physical world. I think that the grief on that must be, right, someone you were always with.
Right.
It's not like you just broke up with them.
No.
And you see them down the street.
They're just gone.
Oh, they're on social media. They're
that
gone.
was very hard to wrap my head around. Like, they're gone. You know? Yeah. That was tough. Yep.
So you were able to use, like, your fitness, your kickboxing to get through it.
To get through it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That probably saved you.
It did. I mean, and there were times I didn't want to come because it was hard to be here, but I did. And everybody was, again, too, people that were here were very nice, and they were good to me, and like-minded, like I said before. And it helped me through it, just punching that bag, getting that stress out, and feeling good about me.
Yeah.
All of those things combined together.
I find a lot of times that, I've seen, like, women go through things who are here. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey, Mark, like, I got to cancel my membership. Mm-hmm. It's too stressful at work. Well, that is that should not even come out of your mouth. Right. But when that stress happens, we make poor decisions. Right. So I try to be like, Heidi, it's probably not the best decision you need to be making right now.
Exactly.
Right. But when we have the grief, or like we forget about ourselves. Mm-hmm. And because you already had that fitness lifestyle, you understood the importance of taking care of yourself. Right. Whereas I feel like, maybe not a lot, but like I actually would say a lot of women would be like, no, let me stop working out. Right. I'm going to grieve. Right. I'm going to do all this. Right. Now it's 3 years later. Yeah. And I'm 45 pounds overweight. Right. Because if you're grieving, or even if you have a bad time at work, or you're stressed at work, you're going to go home and you're going to do all those bad things for yourself. You're going to lay around, probably eat, and, or just smoke, drink out. Even drinking alcohol is not, a good go-to. Right. You have to be in a positive atmosphere, and that's this. So since you're so positive, you understand the importance of prioritizing yourself. Mm-hmm. Do your friends or family come to you as like that beacon of light to help them? Yeah, tell me. All the time. People always come to me and tell me, I want to do what you're doing, or I want to feel the way you feel. And I'm like, well, you just got to do this. You got to follow me there. I've actually gotten a lot of friends, my way. Sure. And I'm sure that if you sat with them, they would say the same thing, that, fitness was a huge part in their life, and they will never let it go. How many people have come up to you that say they want to do what you're doing, but don't actually do anything after you tell them? Quite a few people. Yeah. Quite a few. Do you think it goes back to, well, they have to be ready for it? Yeah, and I would never judge. Right. Because you have to be your own, you have to do what you want to do when you want to do it, Right. If you don't put your whole body and soul into it. No. Why do you think a lot of women your age would be overweight or would stay overweight? I think you just get into a rut. You get depressed. You get into a depression, and it just snowballs from there. And then the motivation goes away. And then once you're 45, 50 pounds overweight, now you're scared to come into a gym like I was when I started to be an instructor. I didn't want anybody to look at me or stare at me or make me feel like I wasn't doing it right. And I always tell people like that, listen, the first thing you need to do is show up. And we all have a first day. Sure. Everybody has had a first day. So yeah, I've done this a long time. That's why I know what I'm doing. And you can be there too. Mm-hmm. The client. The client. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think so. A lot of people will, make appointments to speak with me.
Yep.
Let's just say half of them either cancel or don't show up.
Right.
I think the majority of that is because they're nervous.
Of course they are.
Right?
They're nervous. They're scared. They don't want to come. They don't want you. They don't want you to see them probably either.
Yeah, I wish there was a way. Like, I'm sure there is, but I haven't found a way. Like, we send videos to them. Okay. Like, hey, Dr. Mark, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
But like, since I don't know them personally, everybody's like an onion.
Right.
You have to peel back the layers to actually get to the core.
Right.
But I would like to find a way to make them not nervous, which is why we do things like this.
Right.
That guy's dressed like that, and he knows what he's doing.
Right.
Like, I don't care if I'm 45 pounds overweight. He looks ridiculous.
Right, yeah.
Right? I mean, when I say ridiculous,
fun.
I also think I'm very, very sexy in these glasses.
Best arms in Cranston.
Nothing wrong with your eyes. But I wish there was a way for me to like pop into their house and be like, hey,
yeah.
I'm excited to see you. Like, we're going to be cool, right?
Yep.
Because like, I know there's so many women that want to lose weight. I have the answer.
So many.
I have the answer, right? Like, we know what we're doing.
Right.
All you got to do is get in contact with me and show up to meet me. Then your life will change, right?
Yep.
I
know. I've been there. Every woman who wants to lose weight has that internal fight, that constant fight. And all they do is just put themselves down and put themselves. I know. I've been there. I do it. I get it. You know, it's they just need that little push.
Yeah, maybe we should go pick them up.
We should.
We should pick them up. We have like a Heidi Mobile. A
Bochner van. Go pick them up out the house.
So, what motivates you now?
Because I want to continue. So the older I get, when I'm 60 years old, I plan on being here.
We plan on being open.
I want to stay in shape like this. I don't want to start going on medication. I don't take any medication except vitamins.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to. I don't want to lose what I've spent so many years building.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I think that's important. It's consistency is the key.
Right. Yep. Both my parents. I grew up with very unhealthy parents. You know, they both smoked. They both, not my mom so much, but my dad drank. And my mom is no longer here. She passed away. But she passed away because of her doing. She killed herself smoking. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not living that way. And I said, going forward, I am going to live a different lifestyle.
I think that's one of the interesting things, right? So I arguably, and anybody who knows them, would probably say I had the best parents ever, or up there, 100%. But my dad's definitely the type of guy who's like, just give me a pill, like we're good. He doesn't worry. He doesn't worry about things, which is great.
Yeah.
But like, just give me a pill.
Right.
Right. Okay, I get that.
Right.
And then growing up, definitely like that the Jewish side of my family versus the Italian Catholic side. I'm basically like a unicorn because I'm like an Italian Jew. So it's like, a lot of meatballs, kosher. But anyway, so that side of the family was heavyset.
Yeah. The Italian side?
No, the Jewish side.
Okay.
Like just different. Like they weren't. And I was like, I don't want to be that.
No.
Right. Like I don't want to look like that. And so from a young age, I saw the contrast of how, I was like, I don't want that.
No.
So like I worked out and innately it showed me like your mom with smoking, like I don't want to smoke because, or kids who are parents of drinkers, don't touch alcohol because they know.
Right.
And I think that sometimes they sacrifice themselves for us to learn. Right. Like, I
think, true. True.
So you kind of have that, that decision to make because everything, your life is just a culmination of decisions.
Decisions, right.
Right. And where you are now and where you're going to go, the decisions take you there.
Right.
And if you make positive decisions, you get there.
Right.
And if you don't make positive decisions, you fall down the mountain.
Right. Yeah. I try to stay as positive as possible, because I feel like whatever you put out there, you're going to get it back.
Yeah.
It's
the same with people.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So like if you're putting positivity into people, they're going to give it to you back.
Right.
Right? So, a lot of times people will be like, I hate people or whatever. Right? Like I understand you need your own time.
Sure.
But like maybe if you just acted differently towards people, you'd actually really love people.
Well, and they would just act different back.
They would act different back, or they're going to vanish from your experience because they don't match your vibration.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So like, it's kind of funny. So when we would do jiu-jitsu and we'd have people coming in, like literally if the person's vibe didn't match with mine, they didn't sign up, or if they did sign up, like we wouldn't even sign them up now because we know better. They lasted a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Right? You have to have that. And because we're self-defense, like we need to keep everybody safe. We have a lot of women. Yeah. So like we don't want men coming in.
Right.
Just want to bash heads.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't work.
No.
I'll refer you somewhere else.
Right.
But like attracts like. So like you need to have that. And I like helping people. Mm-hmm. We attract people who need help.
Right.
One of the main things I ask you when I meet you is, Heidi, what's the problem we're trying to solve? Mm-hmm. If you don't have a problem and you can't admit it, this is not going to work.
No. Everybody has a problem.
Yeah, but you don't want to admit it.
No.
Or you haven't thought about it enough to understand like why you here.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if I can help you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not doing the work.
Exactly.
So, okay, so someone's watching this.
Yep.
They want to change their life. Mm-hmm. They're where the old Heidi was. Mm-hmm. Right? If you can look at the camera and tell them, what's your advice to them, what they need to do to start changing their life?
So they have to I think that you have to figure out what you want to change first. I think that's key. And then you have to find, whether it's here or somewhere else, really, but you have to find people who are going to help you and who are like-minded, and you have to take that leap.
Yeah, take the leap.
You have to take the leap.
And
There's no doubt.
And I think it's important to know that there's people out there who want to help you.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
There's so many people out there.
You just have to, like, find them.
Right.
So take action.
Take action.
Take the leap.
Take the leap. Yeah.
And hopefully they're in your class.
Hopefully.
Right?
If you take the leap, you're just going to continue after that. There's no stopping.
That's true. And the other thing is, like, if you don't take the leap,
you're never going to know.
And you're not going to meet the people
that
could get you to the next chapter of your life.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Well, Heidi, I definitely enjoyed this.
I enjoyed it too.
I'm always excited for your classes, and I hope that people watch this video and they're like, I have to train with that girl. That woman, absolutely. I should say.
Come train with me.
In that hat.
In my hat, yeah.
Hello, my name is Dr. Marc Bochner. Don't forget to check out my new book, Pug Learns to Believe. Hey guys, Dr. Marc here. Now I know a lot of you want to know how we get all these amazing results with our clients, and it comes down to 3 things. The first is fun fitness classes that burn a lot of calories. 2 is giving you an accountability coach to make sure you stay on track and get the best results. And 3 is the nutrition. Included in the nutrition is our food supplement. So we pair with Prestige Labs because I feel they're the best, they have integrity, and they get great results. These are actually the supplements that I take as well. Here's the awesome part. By clicking the link below, you can save 40% off the retail price. So you need that link to actually save 40%. If you just go to the normal site without my link, you're paying full price, okay? So these are the supplements my clients use. If you are interested, definitely click the link below and it'll tell you all about them.